Good afternoon, everybody. We are back. It is the Big Men on Campus podcast, the bracket breakdown edition. We're back talking college hoops for today. Got a couple games to chat about in the CIT. We'll also get into the tournament. I'll take your questions here live, here breaking down the games. You have a question you want to ask, get in the chat now. Don't ask it now. Get in the chat now. We'll break it all down. I will have a play tonight as well. Really actually like both these games, but I like one a little bit more than the other. So we'll get into that and have some fun talking about the tournament. Looking forward to it. Hope everyone's having a very good day and a good evening to you. It is Monday, March 12th, 2018. As always, like the show. If you're on Twitter, please retweet the show. It's a great way to get the stuff out there. It's a great way to get my shows out there, all that stuff. Please hit the like button and retweet the show. It'll get out to your listeners or your followers, I mean. We get into it. Pushing 40 units on the season. We'll look to get up and over that and hopefully continue to get into the profit even more here over the next couple weeks. I want to also let everyone know, if you're in the San Antonio, Texas area, I'd love to see you over to Final Four. I'll be there for about 5 days. I'll be right down in San Antonio. I'd love to see you. So if you're around, come by, say hello. I'll be at the Southtown 101 Bar and Grill throughout the trip. Also, we'll be at all the games. I'll be at both semifinal games and the national title game. So I'd love to see you if you're going to be around. San Antonio, Texas, Southtown 101. If you live in Waco, Austin, Dallas, Houston, Laredo, you live in San Antonio yourself, Harris County, wherever you're at, come see me. I'd love to say hello. And you also get some gift certificates and that kind of thing if you come by, and you can frequent the bar and get some grub and that kind of stuff as well. Let's do that. Let's get in here to tonight's action. You got two games in the College Invitational, the CIT, which is basically the fourth tournament. You have the tournament, you have the NIT, you have the CBI, and then you have the CIT. So these games are fairly interesting tonight. You have two games that I think they're interesting kind of ways to look at each of them here. We should have a play. We're going to have a play on one of them here. Any chance you find time to make a bracket video? I'm not doing a bracket video. I'm not sharing my bracket. I'll definitely go over games and we'll talk about against the spread. But I'm in a bracket pool that's for a lot of money, and for me, I kind of want to keep that to myself. But I'll gladly help, give a pointer, that kind of thing. Let's get into it tonight. You got first game starting at 6:00 Eastern. You got North Carolina A&T and Liberty. This game is in Liberty. Flames are hosting this. Got to ask yourself, what is Liberty's mindset coming into this tournament? I mean, the way they lost to Radford, obviously, you take one on the chin like that, that's a tough loss. And look, I mean, frankly, the team they're playing today, North Carolina A&T, you got to look at them and say they're probably one of the more interested teams in these competitions. As far as you look at last year, North Carolina A&T won one game, guys. This year they won 20, and they're going to a tournament. I would imagine they're buzzing to play this game. It's only 2 hours away from their campus, so I'd imagine they'll have a decent crowd there as well. But here's the problem with A&T. They're a team that will struggle, I think, in this game offensively. If you know anything about the MEAC, it is mostly a dribble penetration league. Players are trying to get into the teeth of the defense and attack. And if you know anything about the MEAC, you know that it's not a very good shooting league either. I think A&T is going to make a lot of jump shots in this game. I don't think that's a good matchup for them at all. Liberty is a really good defensive team. Opponents are only scoring 59 points a game in Liberty this year and shooting below 39%. A&T also struggles to make 3-point shots as well. Just a lot to look at here as far as, do I think they'll be excited? Sure. Do I think it's a good matchup for them? No. As far as Liberty, they should be able to do pretty well here, but I don't know that they're not going to put up a crooked 80 number or anything. I think the under is a good play in this game. I'm going to go with it here. Play it tonight under 139.5. You can get that at pretty much every book out there right now. I just think with the way these two teams are built, you could maybe see plenty of missed shots early. I know that sometimes you're going to get excitement, but excitement doesn't always translate to making shots. And with the way A&T plays, I don't know that this is the best matchup for them on the offensive end. A&T also not particularly fast tempo wise, and neither is Liberty. Liberty is pretty slow, frankly. They're actually 341st in the country in tempo. So I think 140 is just a bit too high. I would have put it down in the low 130s if you ask me. So I'm going to go under 139.5 here in Liberty and North Carolina A&T. Let's get into some of the comments here, and we'll get into the rest of the card here. The other game on the line. What's up, Anthony Greer, Big Prue, Giorgio? He's already over Liberty. Yeah, I'm not. I like the total a lot more. What's up, Brad McKay? Lyle, is that a new warm-up suit? Yes. Thanks for the help. No problem, Richie. Melvin, what's up? Blank Space likes the under. Very good. Yes, we have a 6 o'clock start, so that's going to start here in a minute. Let's get into the other game. I think it's also a fairly interesting game tonight, Hartford and San Diego. I think the one interesting thing about the first game we talked about, it's not particularly a long travel schedule. I mean, North Carolina A&T, left today. It's a bus ride. It's not too far. You look at Hartford. This is a long travel schedule in 30 hours or so. But you have to ask yourself, I don't know how. San Diego, what's their motivation in this tournament? Their coach is gone after that odd incident at that airport. And look, for me, I got to wonder how pumped up they are for this game. I think Hartford, you look at them, they're also a team that has really fixed themselves up over the last year or so. Flying across country is tough, though. This is a quick turnaround, but I do think they'll play pretty well. Hartford runs a lot of pick and roll. That's kind of what they do up there. Do they? And look, if you know anything about San Diego, they're not a particularly good pick and roll defense. They also on offense are mostly a jump shooting team. Hartford does run a lot of zones, so I don't know if schematically it's a great matchup for USD. Gun to my head, I would take Hartford in this game. And grab the 9.5. I don't think there's going to be a ton of reason that Hartford is not up for this game. I think they're much better motivationally here than San Diego. San Diego's coach is gone. This was an up and coming coach. Blackjack versus BMOC on what? I guess he has the over. What are you going to do? There's only 2 games, so I'll hang with where I'm going with what I'm doing. By the way, all right, if you have questions in the tournament, get me them. I'd love to answer them now. Feel free to send them in. We'll do against the spread. We'll talk about who do I think is going to win, games, whatever you want. You now have the opportunity to ask me anything you want, so have at it, people. Who do you have winning the NIT? No idea. Haven't looked at it yet. I know the teams, but I don't have an answer as far as who I think is going to win. Any chance Montana beats Michigan? I think there's a chance. Do I think they'll do it? It's going to be tough. I think they'll cover, though. I think they're good enough offensively, Montana, with Ahmad Rory and Ogween and Ako. I think they have plenty of options. I think I've said all along, I think this little break's going to hurt the Michigan Wolverines. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely say that I think Montana will cover. Do I think they'll win? No. Bucknell's to play Michigan State. Yeah, I talked about that. I have nothing on the NIT. Is Sparty a good bet to win it all? Not to me. Texas, Nevada. I like Texas. First, I asked myself, Nevada, this Texas team's athletic, really athletic. And if Bama comes back, he should have a pretty big game. Nevada doesn't have a particularly big front court. They also lack a point guard right now. That's a concern for me as well. I think Texas is a trendy 10 to win. Who do you have in your Final Four? No comment. Yep, St. Albans is losing. What are you going to do? They were up 1-0. Now they're losing 3-1. That's how it goes. Who the hell? Who knows? I guess, they didn't play too well today. What are you going to do? Where are we at here? Lyle's won the last 2 months using my tips. Good. Glad to hear it, Lyle. Thanks. Looks like the trendy pick for sleepers, New Mexico State. Apparently everyone's an expert. I agree. I like New Mexico State. I said that last night. I've already bet that number. I think they will beat Clemson. They're very good defensively. I think they're among the best defensive teams in this field. They're very well coached under Chris Jans. Zach Lofton is one at this level. Comes over from Texas Southern. I love Cindy Andier, Eli Chua. Jamario James is probably, other than Angel Delgado, the best rebounder in the country, grabbing 13 a game. I really like the Mexico State Aggies. Mike Dahm and South Dakota State get a good shot. Disagree. I think Ohio State wins, and I think they cover. We need to remember, we need to stop saying that South Dakota State is some great sleeper that always does well. They don't. That is not true, and it's not been true. I don't know why people keep saying that. Mike Dahm, I love. No one will tell you that I don't love Mike Dahm. I do. But the truth of the matter is they don't win, okay? They don't. Maybe you're getting them to choose North Dakota State, who did win recently. They made a little run with Saul Phillips at the helm. But truth of the matter is South Dakota State has won jack shit at this level. I'm sick of hearing how great they are and how they're going to beat Ohio State. Look, they're not going to beat Ohio State. Ohio State is much more athletic than they are. I don't know who the hell is going to guard Jay Sean Tate or Keita Bates-Diop. And we look at in stepping up this year. Let's take a look at South Dakota State. All right. They lost to Kansas 98-64. They lost to Wyoming by 12. They beat Buffalo, pretty decent win. Lost to Mississippi, or beat Mississippi by 2, but we know that the Rebels have struggled. Missouri State beat them by 20 and scored 53 points against Missouri State. They got beaten by Wichita State. Colorado beat them and put up 112 points. So, yeah, I mean, and so on. So, I mean, we need to stop with this whole agenda that South Dakota State is going to roll or something. I mean, I don't see it. Just my opinion. I love Mike Dahm. Could he carry a team? Sure. But, I mean, look at last year. I mean, why are we saying that how good South Dakota – when have they won anything? Last year they got absolutely fucking rolled by Gonzaga. I mean, they don't win. A couple years ago when they had Nate Walters against Michigan, they got fucking crushed. Stop with this. Who do you have in your Final Four? I'm not answering that. 3 unanswered goals for Hungerford. Okay, whatever. What are you going to do? You plan any futures? I already have futures in. I've had them for a while now. They're actually on my Twitter account. But I'll get a couple and figure them out. One underdogs would be the best bet to cover. Ask me specifically. Again, there are a lot of questions here. Could Stephen F. Austin upset Texas Tech? No. Good under game, though. I like Stephen F. Austin, but just too pedestrian offensive for me. I think Texas Tech will really lock him down. Should be a fun game, though, in Dallas. Duke total 156 seems low. I agree. I'll be on the over. Actually, I'll bet that as soon as I can. Butler total 152 seems low. Agreed. Arkansas, and that should be a track meet. A guy offered me 9-1 on Arizona to win the South. Well, all 3 of those bets look like good bets. Would you lock in Murray State at 10.5? No, I'm actually not involved at all with West Virginia come tournament time. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to know how that press is going to play. I've talked about before, that press is really good when it's on, and particularly it's usually on against mid-major opponents. But if you can break the press, you're going to score. So I got to look more into what Murray State did against presses this year, which is something that will be important to know. Does Gators have a remote chance of taking it at all? No, not at all. Not without John Egbunu. I have Texas beating Cincy. Your thoughts? I think that's blasphemy. No, they're not going to beat Cincinnati. I picked Nevada, but agree with you. Well, you might want to change it. Why is everyone on Michigan State's nuts to win it this whole tournament? I don't know. They're a horrible against the spread team, so for bettors, you shouldn't be on them. I don't think they're a great team like everyone else does. I didn't and wasn't impressed with anything they did really at all this year. They didn't win shit, and when it came down to it, they couldn't even win the Big Ten, a Big Ten that wasn't very good. What futures do you have for the national title? I have a couple. I'll have to list them later. Do you think UCLA can upset Florida? Yes, I actually have that. I think UCLA can upset Florida. I think they're going to win 2 games, and I think it's going to be Florida, one of them. Gonzaga's going to win it all. I don't disagree. I think they do get to the Final Four. Rhode Island, Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma getting 2. I know they're junk, but I think they'll prove they belong. Agreed. I'm all over Oklahoma as well. I think they will beat Rhode Island. Rhode Island not playing well right now and struggling at the moment. You got to ask yourself, do you trust Oklahoma, though? Oklahoma is 335th in the country defensively. They have one guy that could take a game over. Bob Hurley's a great coach, but I don't think Rhode Island's going to win a ton of games anyway because do I like their guard play? Yeah, but their front court is really poor. I think Oklahoma will prove they belong. Zona Nova in the championship game. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question either. Do you think Zona to win at 12-1 is worth a look? Yes, because I think they're going to get to the Final Four. I actually think they're in the championship game. So, yes, 12-1, I'd be on that. Who do you have in the CBI? No idea. I haven't looked at that yet as far as the bracket itself. Can anyone in Virginia's region really give them a run? Yes, Virginia will lose to me fairly early. Actually, I'll give you a little hint there. Let me get my bracket up here so I can chat about that. I've talked before about my Virginia love. I do like them. I think they're great defensively, but I also don't. Think that offensively they're good enough. I don't see anyone that can take a game over on that team. And I think in this tournament they're going to have some trouble. I actually have them losing to. Let me see here if I could get the fucking bracket up. What the fuck, man? I actually have Arizona beating them in the Sweet 16. So I think the UVA will win 2 games, but that's it. I think they will lose to Arizona. I think DeAndre Ayton will eat them fucking alive. Jack Salt better go take bath salts before he plays. He's going to get fucking eaten. Would love to see the Zags get back to the Final Four. Agreed. Who's the worst college basketball analyst this time of year? Look, I love Charles Barkley. I think he's a really funny guy. I think on the NBA he's really funny and witty, but I think this time of year he's pretty bad. Gus Johnson, Dick Vitale, Bill Walton. They're all pretty poor. I always get one of the first games wrong, and I pick Rhode Island in both my brackets. Again, the game doesn't mean a ton in brackets. I mean, if you don't have any advancing too far, it's only one game. Do you have any 12s beating any 5s? Yeah, Kyle, I just said I like New Mexico State. They're definitely one that I'm on. Any thoughts on who Houston Cougars making around? How likely is it they drop the first game? They're not going to drop the first game, but I actually could see them getting to the Sweet 16. I could see them beating Michigan. I don't think that's out of the question. I think Providence is going to make. I could see them maybe making a run. Either Providence or Texas A&M. Either one of those teams could make a run. Even against UNC. I'm not high on the Tar Heels this year. If you know me, I don't think it's out of the question for Houston to make a run. I think they're in a pretty good spot in the bracket. They won't lose to San Diego State though. Gonzaga beat Ohio State in the second round. Yes. Let me keep it going here. Comments are coming in fast and furious. West Virginia is so inconsistent and Hartford with a lead. Yeah, but again, that was against Big 12 teams. This is a OVC team. Charleston against Auburn. I actually like the Cougars a lot against Auburn. I think they will give them some trouble. They're very familiar with that up-tempo style. They're very good in transition, something you have to do against Auburn. Alabama did that this year. Joe Cheely's really good. Grant Riller's really good. I think they can hang with Auburn. Can UCLA beat St. Bonaventure? Yes, and they will. Yep, agreed. I wouldn't say huge, but I like them. Lipscomb to beat UNC, lock it in. Yeah, really going out on a limb there. I got UCLA beating Purdue. I don't think that's out of the question. Nova even money to win the East is a good bet. Yes. Virginia does not have the offensive firepower. Exactly. Aaron Holiday has the ability to put UNC on his back. I don't know if it's a Elite 8 team, but I think they can win a game or two. Arizona beats Virginia. You think it's possible. It's very possible. UNC will not lose to Lipscomb. I think he's being sarcastic. I jumped on LIU. Good. Yes, that is one of the plays that I'm already on. I'm on LIU Brooklyn plus 3.5. I think they're going to win the game. So as far as that's concerned, Whatever points I'm getting. I guess I got a bad line all day, but it is what it is. I got Kentucky winning the South. Am I crazy? No, I mean, you're not crazy, but it's not going to happen. Did San Diego State use up all in the conference tournament? I think they did. They shot out of their minds. I don't think they're going to keep doing that. Do you think number 14, 15, or 16 win a game plus 150? Yeah, I don't think it's out of the question. I think the 14 seeds this year are pretty good, particularly Bucknell and Montana. I don't think Wright State will win a game, and I don't think Stephen F. Austin. That's not a bet I'd be looking to. One plus 150 is not enough. Do you think Lipscomb could cover? Yes, but I'm more interested in the total. Lipscomb's going to have to make some jump shots, which I think they can. They're built a lot like Belmont is. If you know anything about their coach, he was a Rick Byrd disciple at Belmont. So, yeah, I think they can. I'm not particularly in love with UNC. I've talked about that before. Bucknell and Lipscomb are similar, you could say. Bucknell actually hung around with them earlier this year. I think if Lipscomb can hit up a couple outside shots, I think they'll get to the foul line enough to cover this game. Big man, I saw your tweet about Steve Stevens. What's your opinion on the guy? I've never heard people from the sports betting industry talk about him. Listen, people have asked me time and time again about Steve Stevens, and I'll say three things. One of which, listen, I never heard of the guy until he was on TV. We obviously talk to a lot of people in Las Vegas on a regular basis. No one heard of him. And number three, I think everything he says is pretty hard to believe. I mean, I don't really know anyone that can bet hundreds of thousands of dollars on games other than if your name's Billy Walters. I think he plays a part. I've never heard of the guy until recently. As far as him talking about SBR, look, the guy can't break games down. He doesn't know shit about sports. And I'll tell him that to his face. I would cap circles around the guy. He doesn't know anything about sports, and he knows it. That's why he doesn't talk about anything. All he does is talk about himself and weed and Floyd Mayweather. That's all he does is talk about other things and anything where he doesn't have to talk about sports. He doesn't know anything about sports. He gives one side to one customer and one side to the other. He's a typical tout in the boiler room. That's what he does. That's what boiler room touts do. He'll use the whole "I'm from Vegas and I'm better than all of you because I'm from Vegas." Truth of the matter is, nobody knows who the hell you are. Second of all, if you need my $250 so bad, why are you acting like you're a millionaire? If you're making so much money, because I got to tell you guys, I've been a tout before. I've been in this business. I've been doing it a long time. If I was rich like he claims he is, I wouldn't want anything to do with the tout business. I could be a tout right now and make a ton of money, and I don't. I don't want to be in that business right now, at least. I don't want to have to deal with that right now. Down the road, would I like to do some kind of subscription basis where, I have some sort of website and you're paying me for the shows that I'm doing and things like that? Yeah. But do I want to purposely give picks out to people and tell them how to make money and that kind of thing the way he does it? No. So yeah, there you go. I like Billis and Raftery. I don't mind Raftery. Billis, he's all right. What about Texas Tech, Purdue, Elite Eight? I could see it. I think it'd be a low-scoring game or grind it out. Purdue can obviously has the advantage with Haas, but I mean, if you can make Haas defend away from the rim, I don't think it's a terrible matchup. We need a daily update. And your lady friend, I mean, no comment. Top three players going into the tournament that will make an impact. Top three players: Colin Sexton. Lofton from New Mexico State, and who else? I want to just say Ayton because I think he's so good, but I'll go Kadeem Carrington from Seton Hall. I think I'm pretty high on Seton Hall in this tournament. Where else are we going to go here? When does Nova get bounced? Not till Final Four, probably, if they get bounced. Are you planning on playing a few games a day? No idea. Can Seton Hall style and guard play and veteran players take out Kansas? Yes, they can, and I think they will. I'm already on that. Florida, Mizzou. They don't play each other. When does Nova get bounced? Answer that. Who do you think is this year's South Carolina? Seton Hall. Do you think Texas Tech will make the Final Four? No. Yeah, I don't agree with that, Jawan. I wouldn't be betting that. Alabama, Virginia Tech. I like Alabama. I think Virginia Tech, both these teams struggle to win away from home. So that's a concern for me. But I love Colin Sexton. I think he's a game changer. I think he'll make a big difference in this game. Virginia Tech, I wonder, though, can their defense keep them in it? They've improved significantly on that end, and Buzz Williams is a good coach. I just think in a toss-up, give me Alabama. Loyola beat Chicago, beat Miami. Done. I don't disagree with you. I think Loyola Chicago reminds me a lot of the historic, really good teams we've seen from the Missouri Valley and those kind of teams. A team like Butler, Northern Iowa, Wichita back in the day. All those teams are from this conference. Creighton back in the day. I think Loyola Chicago could be the next one of those kind of teams. To make a run. We talk about them, 6-7 years from now. You remember when Clayton Custer and Loyola Chicago, Porter Moser will be at some big school by then. They're really similar to those kind of teams. They remind me a lot of the Butler team that almost beat Duke in the national title game. Loyola Chicago is really efficient offensively. They're really efficient defensively. Don't be surprised if they do go on a run. They're the one trendy team that I am very much in on. My guess for Jets Final Four is Nova, Duke, Gonzaga, and Arizona. Well, your guess would be wrong. Big Man, are you on tonight? Yes, I'm on tonight. Your guess is what he already said on the bracket show. We'll see. I'm playing games here. Blackjack's on the over. Good for him. Hope he wins. And if he doesn't, I guess I'll win. But all due respect to Blackjack, I hope he loses this one. How does Seton Hall match up with Duke if they played each other? Well, I think they match up pretty well, actually. You have to ask yourself, does a team have someone that can guard Bagley? I think Delgado could. But if you have Bagley, you also have Wendell Carter. I think their guards are definitely good enough. I like Powell, Desi Rodriguez, and Kid Arrington a lot. Mr. Kevely, he's come in and played pretty well for them as well. I like Sanogo. I think Seton Hall's a really dangerous team, especially if as of week it doesn't play. I have Seton Hall going decently far in this tournament. West Virginia tournament chances, I don't think they're particularly good. I think they're kind of a really Jekyll and Hyde. They're mostly Jekyll. And that press at points, if you can beat it, you can beat it. Dom, exclamation point. Yeah, I'm on the other side. Big Man, good breakdown, Steve Stevens, LMAO. Thank you. Thought it was good myself. Future parlay of Final Four picks is a nice payout. If you know, you could turn them into lottery tickets. All right, we'll look into those. I like the tracksuit. Thanks, Jay. Hey, excellent idea, Big Man. Subscription service for the content, not specific picks. Yes, let's just say we're working on something very adamantly. What else do we got here? Based on the show, you have Zag, Zona, Nova, and Duke in the Final Four. All right, well, things can change. Remember, brackets are not sports betting. I can change those. There's a stat on 8-9 games that always just take the dog. Loyola, Miami, Tennessee reminds me of you and I, Texas A&M from 16. Any thoughts on Butler, Arkansas? I look over. As far as winning the game, I like Arkansas. Is Georgia State a sleeper? No, but I like DeMarcus Simmons a lot. He's really good. Ron Harper is a great coach and should get a lot of respect. Kansas, Michigan State, Duke reminds me of U.S. Luke Slavin's going down memory road with all these different teams. Okay, fair enough. Is Rui, for one, your difference maker? Sure, of course, Rui Hachimura. He said name 3, and I named 3, but Rui would be number 4. Fuck Blog Talk Radio. You guys Periscope. Nah, Blog Talk's fine. What can we do? We don't have any other options. We want to be able to take calls and talk to the people. Do you think Tennessee Wright State will move at all? No, I think it'd only move up. I don't think Wright State will win that or hang around even. When will 16 be to 1? Probably never. Someone said to fade the Big 12 and SEC. I think it's game to game. Will Missouri beat Xavier? I think it's possible. I'll have to cross that bridge when I get to it. One pick today. I already gave my pick out for today. My pick today is under 139.5 A&T Liberty. People sleeping on Cincinnati. I have them knocking out Zona, but losing to the Zags. Yes, I agree with you. People are sleeping on Cincinnati. I have all them also going decently far in this tournament. I think they get to the Elite Eight. Or around there. I really like that team this year. Very efficient offensively. People don't think they are, but they're an elite defensive team, and they are very good defense or offensively. Seton Hall, New Mexico State in a Sweet 16? Question mark. Maybe. West Virginia, Wichita in a Sweet 16. Who wins? Wichita. I'm bummed that this is almost over. I love these shows. Yep. Well, all good things must come to an end, bruv. Are you still posting soccer plays? Yes. I was at the UK UT game yesterday. Good game. It was a good game. If you're a UK fan, we love what you do. Thanks. Weakest regions, got to be the West. No, I would say it's probably, I don't know, probably the Midwest. I mean, I'm not really in love with anything there. I mean, I think Kansas is flawed. I think Duke is flawed. I think they're all flawed. So yeah, I would say Midwest. The tourney will be too fast for Cincy. How does Stevens have all that bread? I don't know what that means or where you're going there. A&M or Providence? That's the toughest game of the tournament, in my opinion. I love Ed Cooley. I love the guards there. I think Cartwright's a hell of a player. I love Diallo. I like Rodney Bullock. They just such a good guard play team, and I think Cooley is a really underrated coach. And Texas A&M has been incredibly disappointing this year. It's a tough one. I'm still right back and forth on that one. Creighton, Kansas State. I like Creighton. Even without Krimpelli, I don't think Dean Wade's going to play, so I think they have some value there with Creighton. Hope you had the time of your life. Green Day. All right. Fair enough. Not sure what that has to do with the show. Go on, but thanks. Will you be betting after the NCAA season? Sure. I won't be doing these shows though. You are going back and forth in Little Tennessee. I'll cross that bridge when I get there, bro. My bracket's not totally done yet. Actually, it is, but I'm probably going to change things. Which conference is the winner coming from? I don't know. I would say I don't want to share that. I'm trying to win a fucking pool here, people. I want to win the prize. I want to show everyone that I'm the best. Thoughts in St. Mary's not making it. They got to play better teams. They don't play anyone enough in the out of conference. So they have no reason to complain. Are you really going to do this show again next year? Really love your insight and your picks have been great. I'm going to do this show next year, but it might be under different circumstances. Time to cash the Duke future. Yep, we might. Late to the show, can SDSU win a game in the tournament? No, I don't think they will. I think they will lose to Houston. That's a bad matchup for SDSU. What is going on here? I want to see something before we go tonight. Great questions as always from you guys. If you have anything else, I'd like to hear it. So we lose St. Albans today. What are you going to do? National League South, 6th level football. This is what it is. If you have any other questions, throw them out now, and I'll get to them here. Again, Cooper, you're going to have to listen to the show earlier. I'm on Ohio State. I can't go back and forth. I saw a bold prediction saying 0 ACC teams make the Final Four. I don't agree with that. Sexton, Brunson, that would be fun. Agreed. Yeah, you're not going to bait me, man. I'm pretty good at that. I mean, the show has to end. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. I'm not going to just come on here. I have SBR. We do all the breakdowns baseball-wise there. As far as soccer, I'll still be on their shows until the end of the season. Again, I do need some kind of break at some point with this. So, we'll figure it out. You don't need to send me a gift, Adam. It's quite all right. Save your money. You'll be able to come back to me at some point. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking about something like that. Actually, with someone that you all know pretty well. So I'm hoping we can get something going. We're working on some collaborations. We're working on some things right now as far as that's concerned. So I think that'll be something we will try to roll out here in the near future. Obviously this is time consuming what we're doing here, what I'm doing here. And yeah, I think it's something that you're not paying for picks. You're not paying for me to give you picks. I'm not looking to do that. I'm just looking to keep doing shows like this. So, we'll try to figure something out. Deepest team with the most depth. Villanova's pretty deep. I'm good at soccer. Good for you, Gandhi. Keep it up. So yeah, that'll be it for tonight, guys. Hopefully, you have a great night. Pretty slow Monday. Work on your brackets. Try to learn as much as you can. We'll see if I'm back tomorrow. I don't know if I will or not. Depends on what Maybe we'll do NIT or something. I'll have something here. The under 139.5 is going to be the play of the day. I'm going to go under 139.5 in Liberty, North Carolina A&T in the CIT. Everyone have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll be back next time. Bye-bye.